some godforsaken reason you ended up in my video, and I have seriously no idea how, but since I already got your attention, let me make it worthwhile for you while you're still here. The video I'm going to show to you is a quick groin examination that hopefully it can give you as a student, or even a physio, some guidance on how to do a quick groin examination on athletes. I am following the DOA agreement, which you can see in the picture here. The DOA agreement defines it into 3 categories as groin injuries in athletes. My case was about a fictive person called Victor who struggled with groin pain for a few months. He felt the pain after a sudden spike in activity levels and got pain when twisting, turning, sprinting, jumping and squatting. The pain is mostly felt anteriorly, which gives an indication that it could be ellipsoid-related groin pain according to the DOA agreement. The video only shows specific tests to rule out the structures involved in the groin. The video does not cover other parts of examination such as inspection, palpation, active range of motion, passive range of motions, resistance tests and other functional tests, just so you know that. Test of Monell is the first test we're going to do. This is not really a specific groin test, but the patient complained about lower back pain, which might be prevalent in groin complaints. Test of Monell examines if the pain the patient experiences comes from the hip joint, SI joint or the lumbar spine. Next on the list is to rule out hip-related groin pain, and we do this by doing the Faber test to rule out posterior impingement and Faber test to rule out anterior impingement. Next on the list, we are doing a pubic clock, which is a palpation test. First, we are palpating inguinal ligament, and then insertion of rectus abdominis and adductor longus, along with pubic symphysis. This test can be very invasive and a little bit uncomfortable for the patient, so don't press too long on it because it can provoke some pain. The second last thing we're doing is to rule out adductor-related groin complaints, and we do this by palpating the adductor longus and also doing a squeeze test in 0 and 17 degrees to see if it provokes the recognizable pain. To rule in ellipsoid-related groin complaints, we first do the modified Thomas test, where we measure the distance from the knee into the bench to get an objective result. Second test is stretching the ellipsoas to provoke the pain, and the last test is resisted hip flexion to also provoke the recognizable pain. If all these tests are positive, it gives a clear indication that ellipsoas is the cause of the injury. Lastly, as a bonus, I assess the tension arc, which is optional, but it might be wise to do if your patient is, for example, an athlete. And this is because the tension arc, which is basically the whole kinetic chain going from the top of the body into the bottom, might be affected. If there's a bigger difference than 28% on each leg, we treat it.